sin is always an issue in our life because it brings several consequences. The spiritual consequence of sin is that breaks the communion that we have with God. As a Christian, we are extension of God in this world to create and recreate this world by love. And when we sin, we break that relationship with God, and our actions are not common with the action of God. And that relationship broken brings another thing. We break the relationship with the people we love the most and the people who love us the most. So that brings us frustration and sadness. And then comes the third consequences that is, we can read in Romans chapter 6 verses 23. The salary of sin is death. The option of death is always comes from me. So when we opt for that, we are saying, I prefer hell than heaven. And just analyze your life. How many times you bring to death the time that you can have with your family, with your children, the time that you can have for yourself, the time that we can have with your friends, and the time that you can have with the community, and the talents you bring to that because you have an option for sin. And there is many other consequences, but there are also legal consequences. For example, if you are unfaithful in your marriage, you want to have a child, would happen, right? And then you have to pay a pension for that child. Maybe you want to get divorced from your wife or your husband. And it has a natural consequences. If you are unfaithful, maybe you can acquire a illness, or you can have a child. It's not that a child is a bad thing, but it's a consequence of a natural consequence of your sin. So, what Jesus is calling us today is saying, come back to the relationship with God. Have communion with God. Be under the grace of God. Because don't let sin dominate and manipulate your life, because you are made to be a child of God.